Okay, how many of you have done something you know you shouldn't have? Raise your hand. Come on. You all should be raising your hand at this point. We all do it. It's called sin. And basically sin is us turning in on ourselves. It's us being focused on ourselves and not focused on God. That's what sin is. We all do it. So the first thing you need to know is you're not weird. You're actually really normal because we all do it. So how can we keep ourselves from doing things that we know we shouldn't? That's the question, right? How do we keep from doing it? Okay, so first of all, even Jesus was tempted. Jesus spent 40 days in the wilderness being tempted after he was baptized, right? And Jesus was really tempted. So what that shows us is that God has experienced our human reality. God has experienced what you and I experience all the time through temptation, because Jesus experienced that in the wilderness. So we can take comfort in the fact that God knows what we're going through. God has been there. So God understands our struggles. And look at the Bible. The Bible is filled with stories of imperfect people that God has chosen to do God's work. I mean, there are people that are worshiping calves, that are betraying Jesus, and these are the people that God is choosing to do God's work. So the Bible's filled with these stories of people doing things they know they shouldn't do, and yet they're doing it. So why is it that we do these things? Well, God gives us free will. We have the ability to choose what we do. It's a gift from God. God doesn't control every little thing that we do. So we do things we're not supposed to. We sin. It happens. But when you do that, there's a few things you need to know. Number one, God always loves you. There's nothing you can do to take God's love away from you. Second, failure is just part of the game. We're all going to fail. We all will always do things that we know we shouldn't do. You can be in a situation and you know you shouldn't do that. Maybe it's a situation where you're with friends and they're saying something and you just have this joke in your mind and you know it's going to be a mean joke, but boy is it going to be funny. But it might hurt that person and you still say it. It happens. We're all tempted to do things and we do them. So know that failure is something that happens to all of us. But it's confession in that failure. We as Christians talk about confession, and so it's acknowledging our failures and being open to those failures and letting ourselves realize that we failed and that we did sin and sharing that with God. Second is self-control. We do have the ability to avoid these things. So we need to identify what it is that we shouldn't be doing, and we need to do our best to try and steer clear of those situations that might put us in harm's way or might cause us to fail. But most importantly in this, it's turning to God. Turn to prayer. Talk to God about how you're struggling. God knows, and God can help you. So lean on God for that stuff and take it to God. We're all going to fail. We're all going to do things we shouldn't. But we can help each other in that. So don't worry. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. None of us are. We all sin. But God still forgives us.